Hey there and welcome back. Congressman Scott Rigell. He's from Virginia. He is a Marine Corps veteran and lifelong Republican, but he has refused to toe the party line in this year's presidential race and has cast his support behind Libertarian candidate Gary Johnson. Congressman Scott Rigell joins me now. Welcome to the show, Congressman.
Thank you, Kennedy. Appreciate the opportunity.
Well, I appreciate you being here. Now, I'm wondering, because I'm very familiar with the work of Governor Johnson and his vice presidential pick, William Weld, but I'm wondering for you, is this about Gary Johnson? Is this about liberty? Is this about libertarianism, or is it just a reaction to Donald Trump being icky?
That's a really good question. I mean that. It did start out, Kennedy, in full candor with a repudiation of the Republican candidate, and this decision on my part was sobering. I'm 56 years old. I never envisioned that I would move away from my party's nominee, but the sum of all things that Donald Trump has said and done has made it clear to me that I really believe he'd be a serious risk to our country. And I'm not a public servant prone to hyperbole. I'm really not, but I've come to that sobering conclusion. And then you say, well, let's look at our alternatives. The alternative in the Democratic side was just offensive in the sense of not being forthright and honest, and the character side, and also the gas pedal would be all the way down on spending. She's just promised to spend on everything.
Yeah, no, that's...
And I give some credit both to my wife and also to a young intern. One night he said, Congressman, well, you can't vote for Trump and you're not going to vote for Clinton. Have you considered Gary Johnson, the Libertarian candidate? And I mention this because the future of our country is our young people. And
Absolutely. And I've said this before. I said this in a speech this weekend. There are no young conservatives. They're called libertarians. And it's not a surprise that a younger person on your staff had done some investigative work on this libertarian ticket. Are you impressed by what you found? What is it about Gary Johnson that resonates with you?
Oh, very much so. And I've had a really nice conversation with Governor Johnson. If I look back at my public service, this is my first elected office. I would have served 6 years. I'm not seeking re-election. So much of what I've done and what I believe in overlaps with the literal platform of the Libertarian Party.
Like
and
what?
I always said...
What specifically?
Well, for example, a limited, not an isolationist view of foreign policy, but a limited and deliberate view. I found myself partnering with Dennis Kucinich, for example, in my first term, trying to stop the Operation Odyssey Dawn, our massive attack on Libya.
Do you have, we're running out of time, we've only got a few seconds left. Are there other Republicans, you're not seeking re-election, no political harm will come to you from this. I imagine it would be different for you if you were in fact running for your seat again. Are there other Republicans who are confiding in you that they in fact also want to vote for Gary Johnson?
Yes, I can say that with absolute certainty firsthand. And others are wrestling with it. And I hope, look, each and every member and each and every American at the end of the day has to vote his or her conscience. But I am encouraging subtly, you can't pressure anyone, but I am encouraging everyone to consider, look at the platform, look at our nominee, Governor Johnson, and his running mate, Governor Weld. And these are high-caliber, two-term Republican governors, each elected obviously twice in their own states. They are worthy of consideration. Indeed, they're worthy of more. They're worthy of our vote. All
right, very good. Thank you very much. A ringing endorsement from a sitting Republican congressman. Scott Rigell, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Kennedy.
Very good.